Good afternoon, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 14th session of Cyberport Speaker Series presented by Cyberport. Cyberport Speaker Series is an experience sharing seminar featuring unique speakers from different industries with different expertise. It provides an excellent platform for knowledge sharing and networking among industry professionals and entrepreneurs. Today, our topic is fundraising in Silicon Valley. I'm Bess Ho from Archimedes Labs, your co-MC today. And here's Alan Chan. He's my co-MC.
Hi, I'm Alan. It's a pleasure to be here today. And I am with Capricorn, an investment firm based in the Bay Area. A pleasure to be here. And before we start, I wanted to recognize one guest. Let me introduce to you Ms. Joey Lam from the Hong Kong government. She is the Deputy Government Chief Information Officer. So we're very glad to have Joey with us today. Thank you, Joey. And also wanted to express our gratitude to Herman and the whole Cyberport team for being such a great partner and for having us here today. What an amazing event and what an amazing group. So now may I invite Mr. Herman Lam, the CEO of Cyberport, to come to the stage to deliver the opening remarks. Herman.
Thank you very much, Bess and Alan, our MC today. First of all, good afternoon, everyone, and I want to welcome everybody to Cyberport. I want to especially thank all our guest speakers from Silicon Valley, Beijing, Taiwan. You know, we have really some outstanding panel to share their experiences with us today. We met with Bess a few months ago in Silicon Valley when we took a delegation to there, and we learned a lot. And I was thinking, you know, how can we take some of those experiences and those sharings back to Hong Kong? So we start to talk about maybe we should organize an event like this and invite some speakers to Hong Kong. And here we are, a few months later, the event is happening. So I also want to thank all the attendees today. It's really surprising, overwhelming responses that we have. We just did some very simple promotion. We put it up on Facebook, and next thing we know, we have 1,500 likes, something like that, and 600 people registered for the event. So that tells us we have the right topic and we have the right speakers, and that's very interesting, and that's very exciting. We have many familiar faces today. I have a lot of good friends also joining us today, but there are also many new faces. So I might as well take this opportunity to share with you some of the things that we are doing here at Cyberport. When it comes to tech startups, entrepreneurship, you can think about Cyberport as an incubator. So we do provide a lot of different resources to try to help make it a little bit easier for entrepreneurs. Starting up a business, I guess it's never going to be easy. We don't intend to make it easy, but we want to help along the journey. So there are a few things that we do. In the early stage, we provide seed funding. So we have a microfund. We provide with successful team. We give them a grant of $100,000 to help them to turn ideas into prototype. And then later on, when they really want to take that idea, take that prototype to build a company and start the journey of entrepreneurship, we have an incubation program where we sponsor some $500,000 Hong Kong to help them in several different aspects. And also we have a team of people in the back office to help them to smooth out some of those logistics. Many of us are creative people, but you may not be the expert in dealing with many of the business aspects of starting up a business. And I hope the team will be able to help that too. And then after that, we do a lot of other things. I mean, we have a technology center where we offer a community cloud where you can develop and try your applications on our cloud platform. We have a full post-production studio. If you are into content creation, digital entertainment, you will be able to create a lot of contents, digital contents from our facilities as well. And then we have a collaboration center. So for companies who don't just look at Hong Kong, they also want to expand beyond Hong Kong into the global market, and particularly in many cities into China. We have rep offices in Shanghai, in Guangzhou. We have regular visits and delegations, exhibitions, trade shows in many different cities in China and also in many other countries, particularly Silicon Valley that we've visited many times now. So with all this, I hope today we, and also nevertheless, we organize a lot of trainings, seminars, sharing sessions, so that we can sort of bring the knowledge to the professionals as well. Today is a great example of seminars and trainings or sharings that we organize. So with all of this, I hope you find, Cyberport be good resources for you to help you to develop your business. So without further ado, I would like to once again thank all the speakers helping us to organize this together, and thank all of you joining us. And nevertheless, I want to thank Beth. Without her, this is not happening. So thank you very much, Beth.
I want to do this first. I would like to thank you, Cyberport. I couldn't do this without Cyberport fully support, sponsor, and organizing this conference, this event, 3 days delegation program. And want to thank Herman and David Chung and all the staff like Chris Chan, Cindy, Cheryl, Terry, anybody that I may forget your name, but please, thank you. It's because of all of you. And if you are heavily user of Twitter, please, these are our hashtag. And the official hashtag Twitter for Cyberport is Cyberport_HK. I guess, not too many people know that I was co-author of the Twitter IPEVO by Pearson Publisher. I would like to announce that this Friday, in the morning from 10 to 12, we have a pitching session in the Solution Lab at Entrepreneurship Center. And all the startup will have 5 minutes to pitch. I think we have like over 24 startups that we screened and selected. And just remember, if you are the startup founders, so because of the timing and also it's a public event, we know that you're raising funds, but you don't have to review the evaluation or how much you raise, total raise in public. So you can save those sensitive information, and then in the afternoon from 2:30 on, we have time for you to actually follow up with our VC angels, and we will have comments. So I will be the moderator, manage all the flow of the startup, but we save all the comments in the afternoon. So I'd like to thank all the judges. So we have 4 judges from the angel funding side, and then we have 5 VC judges. So I would like to recognize them. I also want to mention that we have a cocktail 1 hour after the event. So these are the only time we can catch some of the investors. They only staying in Hong Kong for 1 day. Like Alan will be, leaving, in a few hours, and and we have Royce Hong and Matt Chan only staying here for 1 day. So that's the only time you can catch them. So this whole event all started from a very seed idea that I was invited by Stanford professor, and he invited me to guest lecture, and I just happened to be going to Hong Kong, and then I spent a month in Hong Kong researching startup. And back in 2012, the Hong Kong activity is still, very spotty. And then from that lecture, I start attracting attention from Hong Kong government, and then I get to know more people from Hong Kong, like Cyberport. And then after a few encounters, it all lead to today. I bring a small group of VC coming here to visit. And these VC is not just, any VC, but I handpick the VC who are very friendly to founders, also are very willing to take risks. So these, VC are so friendly that I handpick them and bring them to Hong Kong. It takes a lot of effort. So I can tell you that I don't have any jet lag because I was on Hong Kong time for a few weeks, making phone calls and doing all this email, with Cyberport to make this happen. But in Silicon Valley, our spirit is if you have an idea, you execute, you go do it. So want to mention that, I'm coming from Silicon Valley, um, Bay Area, San Francisco, including Silicon Valley. We have the exact, population compared to Hong Kong. And you can see that, we have a lot of land, but you have the mass, just like us, the entire Bay Area. Now, let's look at the figures. Um, Silicon Valley, the population is 3.5 million. The entire Bay Area, San Francisco, is 7 million, have the exact number as Hong Kong population. But in Hong Kong, we have more devices than people. We have like 2 times more, 40 million devices. And then we have 7 times people that coming to Hong Kong visiting as a tourist. So you can see that, do we have the number in Silicon Valley? Actually, you do. You have the numbers. But are you doing something about it? So I will be the moderator for the first panel. The discussion is on funding requirement. And since, I'm very, much into social media, in Silicon Valley startup, we have to find the lowest cost to acquire new users. So social media, social network is a really, good, effective marketing channel. So I heavily promote Twitter. So these are our Twitter. If you want to tweet, you can follow us. So the second panel is moderated by Matt Kaufman, which is, our partner. So these are our hashtags. So you should take a picture if you want to tweet. So I would like to introduce Alan Chan. I couldn't make this happen without his encouragement and his assistance. Many of my contact in the VC is actually is coming from Alan. So Alan is a partner and managing partner from Apricon Investment Group. So he's a native Hong Kongese, and he done a lot of investment in Asia emerging markets, global venture portfolio. He received an MBA from Harvard Business School, and he's a really, a very well-recognized Hong Kong talent, and he actually have most of us, couldn't even, get one major. He has 3 majors. He majored in EE, computer science, and art history. And he also a CFA charter holder. He's also served on investment advisory committees on many, investment. He also cover, long-term global trends in energy, agriculture, transportation, healthcare, and technology. So thank you so much. Give him a big hand.
So it's my turn to introduce Bess. And thank you, Bess. With that very, very kind introduction, I don't know how I can exceed that, but I think the key thing is you can tell from Beth's passion for startups, and more importantly, bringing this startup Silicon Valley culture to merge with what's happening in Hong Kong. I think that's really, really remarkable. And there was something that I noticed, during a sort of Hong Kong government lunch when we first chatted about this event in Hong Kong. I think that, the usual things that you can, of course, read up on Bess very easily online is she's a founding partner of Archimedes Labs, which also is one of the original founding investors, I think, of TechCrunch. So any of you that's involved in TechCrunch and reading news from it, you should know about this. She's also a faculty on the UCSC Extension School, so you can tell that she has a love of teaching and broadening and sharing her knowledge. So thank you, Beth, for having me and for organizing this event.
Thank you, Alan. Since I don't have enough business card, and I just know that we have 540 people registered 2 days ago, we probably will receive over 400 by the end of the day. So if I couldn't really reach you, talk to you individually, and I don't have business card for you, you can always find me on Twitter and LinkedIn. Find me, please. I would like to introduce Matt Kaufman. He's our partner at Archimedes Labs. He's also has a role in TechCrunch. He's the president of CrunchBase. So we actually try to invite other Archimedes Lab partners, but Matt was, I think this is his first time to Hong Kong. So he's very excited to be here to see Hong Kong for himself. But also, it's very difficult to get him because he just finished the TechCrunch Disrupt San Francisco conference a few weeks ago, and then the same month he has to go to Berlin, Germany, have another TechCrunch conference. So it was my luck, and also his willingness to, like to keep his U.S. workload and also come here too. So he run the product development at Udo, which is the company behind Facebook online classified system. He's also do a lot of engineering, product development, product marketing. So please give a welcome to Matt. Yeah. So you want to say a few things, before we
Sure.
Your keynote.
First, I want to thank Cyberport and thank Bess for organizing this. This has been wonderful so far. I think everybody here who's involved with Cyberport, hopefully you understand how unique this is, because this type of infrastructure and place where incubation happens, it really doesn't happen anywhere else that I've seen. So this is truly unique, and I hope hopefully everybody here recognizes that. I guess that's it. I have a presentation somewhere.
Yeah, it will come later. Let me introduce all the speakers first.
Okay.
We improvise. That's the spirit of Silicon Valley. Okay, so it's very fortunate to have Royce Hong with us. I nick him as like Steve, Taiwan Steve Jobs, because he's so good at product. So he's the CEO and design lead at IPEVO. He has a degree in industrial design and graduate from Art Center College of Design in graphic design. And he is a serial entrepreneur. So stand up and we can recognize him. So I'd like to introduce Henry Quinn, and turns out that he's actually a classmate of Alan Chan, Harvard. So Helen Quinn is a partner at Delta Capital. He managed 2 RMB funds and 1 USD funds. He covered, consumer goods and services, clean tech, and TNT. He was a director of Milestone Capital. He has extensive automobile engineering and operation experience with his time at GM, China, US, and Europe. He has an engineering degree and also an MBA degree from Harvard um, Business School. He's also he also a director and founder of Harvard Business School Alumni Club in Shanghai. I would also like to mention, Alan Chan. His portfolio managed TrueCar and Tesla, and it happened that Henry Quinn is also has investment in automobile industry. I think one of the most recognizable is Chery Motor. It's a I think it's a leading global automobile maker from China. So please stand up and give him the recognition, please. Richard Chan is also a native Hong Kong. He's a managing director at Ironfire Capital. He has involved in the advanced business intelligence data warehouse with Arthur Vista. He was a mentor at Microsoft Ventures, led the China Innovation Group at Microsoft Research. He found the wine distribution business, transporting wine from California to Hong Kong. He's also an angel investor since 2006. He has an MBA degree from UC Berkeley School of Business. Please welcome Richard Chan. Now, I would like to introduce Matt Chan. I nick him call the Chinese version of Ron Conway because he's a very active angel investor, and he's act like a founder. But he make his decision really quick. So if he like you, he would just say, okay, close the deal. And he moved really fast, much faster than I am. So he's the founder and managing partner of Curabic Ventures. It's a seed venture fund. He based in San Francisco, Taipei, and Beijing. He was selected as top 20 under 40 angel investor in China. And I wouldn't play tennis with him because he's a junior tennis champion. So he's full of energy. I work long hours. I meet a lot of people, but I can't compete with him. He's really outmoved me in any other way. Please welcome Matt. He's also very difficult to catch too. I like to recognize James Shang. He couldn't make it today, but he will arrive later tonight. So you will see him Thursday and Friday. But I'd like to mention a little bit about James. He's like founder partner at Formation 8, based in Beijing, China, half-time in US. But his fund is new. They raised over 450 million. And he's a venture at SoftBank China Venture Capital. Has a PhD in genetics from UC Davis, and also have some connection with Stanford and the GSB. I also like to introduce a uprising startup founder, Tay Yan Yuan, and he's the CEO and founder of Kafam. I need to disclose that I'm his official startup advisor. But as an advisor, I do not give him an easy time at all. I'm the one who actually keep calling him at, late night, odd hours, because I know that during the day, he has to spend so much time managing his team, also going out to close deals, sales, marketing. So I do not disturb him during the daytime. I only bug him at night and also late night. So we always, have meetings probably close to midnight, and sometimes I drag him down to like 2 a.m. and even 4 a.m. So we work really hard. Tay is founding a car farm, changing and disrupting, the dealership business. And he has experience in dealership and the manufacturing levels in sales, product training, and marketing and e-commerce. So I think that will conclude, our speaker introduction. But I would like to mention that we do have the cocktail. Let's see. Yeah, so there will be a networking cocktail at the end of the event. So just stay outside and stay for the networking session around 5:30. So I would like to bring Matt from CrunchBase to deliver, the keynote.